But I mean, what's the difference, Mike?
Because we have people who have old business issues. Let's try to stick to the agenda because it gets...
All right, then I'll go to my other one and I'll give you this one, a new business. Okay, this is definitely old business. All right, this is definitely old business. As a director of Building 1, I see it as part of my responsibility is to, if somebody in my building had an injustice done, that I should present it and try to make it right. When the construction company was doing the roof on Building 1, they parked in somebody's spot without notification, without authorization. The parking spots that we all own, we own. They are not rented, they are not a courtesy. We own our parking spaces as well as we own our units. The construction company parked a truck in this unit owner's parking space. She came back from shopping. She had bundles to bring. There were no guest spaces available. So she parked at the closest spot she could find because she's not a young person and she had to bring her groceries to the elevator. So she parked in the service spot. When she parked in the service spot, she brought up her groceries and she tripped and damaged her ankle and was laid up for 2 days. This was a Friday evening. The first question that would come to mind, well, why didn't she call somebody? Well, there was nobody to call. There was nobody in the office on Saturday. She told me that she called security. There was no answer. And that does happen. I've called security in the past and I had no answer. I know you're going to come.
Point of order, Harvey. That is not old business of the board of directors. Okay?
I'm afraid it is old business.
It's not. It has never been an agenda of this board of directors. That is not old business.
I would like to ask permission to finish from the president. Anybody object?
I think that he should continue on.
After all, we are here to serve the community and not old business.
All right, but we need to follow procedures. We're doing old business now.
Monique, let him.
You want me to start this all over on new businesses?
Why don't you wait till we have old business issues? No, I made a point of order, okay? And you need to follow the procedures for my point of order.
No, she needs to rule on your point of order.
Well, could you please rule on my point of order?
He started, let him finish.
That's your ruling. We need a ruling from you.
That's her ruling.
He feels it's an old thing that we discussed once before.
You either need to approve or deny. That's all I want to hear from you.
That's,
Make your ruling.
I'm approving it.
All right, I'm almost done, so let's just finish here, okay? Her car...
For the record, that I said that he's approved.
I see this as old business, I'm sorry. Her car was towed. Okay, there was no notice given, no phone call made to her. She has a sticker on the back of her car. I understand that security is supposed to have license plate numbers, which is what I was going to bring up with my own case before. Anyway, the point being is, she was later for 2 days. She wasn't able to move her car till Sunday, and it was gone when she went to move it. I'm the one that drove her to the towing place. It was an awful experience. Now, I want to point out that when, and I realize this may not be apples to apples, but when a teacher sees a fight in a schoolyard, first thing she asks after she breaks it up is who started it. She was forced out of her parking lot by people working under our auspices, our employees, contract employees. And she was forced out of her parking space without any notification whatsoever. Nobody asked her. And she ended up having her car towed. She could have had 2 lawsuits. Number one, she could sue you for renting, she could sue you for use of her parking space. She could. She could also sue you for tripping, and she didn't. She's been here a lot of years, and she ended up having to incur a cost of $240. And I think this was one of the most unfair things I've ever seen happen here.
All right.
And I would like to see this board do the right thing and reimburse her that $240. I remind you that she was forced out of her parking lot without notification by our contract employees. Now, she may have done the wrong thing in parking where she parked, which was the closest space she could find to get to the elevator, which is exactly what I would have done. Then and I can prove this, she has a doctor's stuff from her ankle. And she hurt her ankle, and so she couldn't move her car that day or the next day. She was laid up, and she went to do it Sunday, and it was...
Harvey, I'm not approving. I really don't approve of our towing policy. If that person has a decal on that car, why wasn't she notified?
That's what I'm saying, she wasn't.
I don't know. I don't know who approves towing. There has to be one person only that approves towing.
When was this? Several months ago. I don't know the exact time. Monique might know when it was. Monique's aware of this.
I mean, I think that if a unit owner why wasn't that person called and say, you need to move this car or you will be towed?
That's my whole point.
I cannot understand this.
First of all, she couldn't have moved it herself. All right. Second of all, you're going, why didn't she after the fact? She was forced out of her own parking space, and that's where it starts.
I thought that they put notices up when
No.
you were moved out.
Well, maybe they put a notice on her car, but she was laid up.
When they were doing the roofing and also when they're doing the concrete restoration, notices are put up in every building saying, these parking spots have to be moved because we need to use them.
That was not the case here.
But you don't know that for sure.
Yes, it was, Harvey.
Do you have documentation on that?
Yes, we do. This is why this is totally inappropriate, what you're doing right now. If a unit owner has a complaint from the association, it must be put in writing. She has never put it in writing on this issue. You have no business bringing this up to the board of directors. It's not on the agenda. It's not old business. This is totally inappropriate.
Well, I'm a new board member, and I kind of feel like we're supposed to be here to serve the community and not to punish the community. This was a mistake that somebody made it. Well, I'm sorry.
You cannot make those judgments because you don't know what happened.
I do know that.
You cannot say anybody made a mistake because you don't know that. You don't know all.
So you want to fill us in on the details since you know it?
No, the person who was bringing this issue to you needs to put it in writing to the association as required by Florida law.
And then what happens?
And then the board can properly address it.
Then I apologize for wasting your time. I'm a new board member, and I thought this should have been discussed.
All right. Can we continue on with our old business now?
All right, well, we'll do that.
Okay. Old business? Anybody?
All you're doing is you're postponing it to another time. That's all you're doing.
New business.
I started on new business.
I keep asking people about old business.
Because it's very related. The story I told you about what I did, okay? All I wanted to know, this is new business. This just happened. All I want to know is how come I wasn't called, the same question you just asked. My car was parked, my fault. My car was parked in front of the building. My apartment is, I don't know, 30 feet from where my car was, okay? Why didn't security, instead of posting a thing on my car, which obviously I didn't see.
But he didn't tell you though.
No, that's not my point. My point is the procedure. Lori happened to see it there and called me, and rather Hector and Lori called me, so I moved my car. I didn't know it was there. My point is, why didn't security come to my door or call me to move my car?
Because they don't have a list.
Why not?
They
That's my
always
point.
did. They always did.
Yeah, but
They got
honestly,
the
Harvey, you expect the guards, if people have parking infractions, to go around knocking your doors and calling all the unit owners?
They can call if they have a license plate and a phone number on them.
Most of our unit owners don't even give us their phone numbers. We don't even have their phone numbers.
We have somebody from security right here.
They have my apartment number.
Please come up.
That's not our job to call each and every person that's parked illegally or parked wrongfully. We're all adults. You know the rules and you should obey the rules, no matter if you're on the board or not. No one should be accepted, have exceptions or anything. If we was to call each and every person,
But you wouldn't have towed that person.
No, you don't tow a person right away like that.
No.
It said on my car, it said, warning or something.
It's a warning. It's a
Or,
warning.
but you would have come down the next day and seen your car and you would have moved it.
I wouldn't go out in the morning.
And your car was still there.
Do you think it's unreasonable for them?
Wait, time out. We're forgetting something important here. You were parked in a fire lane.
Yeah.
If there was a fire,
You're lucky you didn't
and
get
the
towed.
firefighters came, we would have got a violation. Harvey, time out.
Exactly what I mean.
Harvey, we would have got the violation. The association would have got a violation
And they would have
for
told
not
you.
towing you if there was a fire.
I hear you.
Please be glad you weren't told that night.
Is it do they carry any kind of I'm not up to the latest technology.
You can get told for that.
It's a city code. It's a city code.
Can they say, oh, it's a parking lot right down the road? You can't do that.
But if you know you're parked in a fire zone, that's a no-no anyway, though.
So, I'm just curious, how does the board feel about it?
Alright, this is what happened in the past, okay? If something had to be towed, okay, the security guard would call the person, which would be you, or the president,